Hey, cousins. Let's talk carrying cross. Since I'm going to make a prediction, not a spoiler, as we're talking about this. Now, I probably shouldn't have said that first because I'm going to forget what the prediction is. So hopefully I won't. Matter of fact, let me do the prediction now because I'm going to forget. Karrion Cross ain't gonna be with the company too much longer. Word on the street is his contract expires in August. And I also want to point out something really important why everybody wants this man pushed and my thoughts on everything since he's been back in WWE. We're just gonna focus on the WWE stuff. Kevin Robert Kesar was born July 19th, 1985. He is going to be 40 years old July 19th, 2025. Just saying. You all love playing that age is bullshit. And now when the ageism is rearing its ugly head with your fave, what you gonna do? Karrion Cross has gone by Kevin Cross, Killer Cross, the White Rabbit. So to briefly, he is 6'4", 265 pounds. He would be, I'm shocked, like the way he looks, you would think would be top billing. He would be mixing it up at the top of the card. He's 6'4", 265. He got a hot bitch, which we'll be talking about, Scarlet Bordeaux here in a few. I don't understand why no one has really bitten into Karrion Cross like he should have been bitten into. But we'll get to it. He's from New York City. Um, He is of Costa Rican, Puerto Rican, Italian, Greek, Scandinavian, Croatian. He's from Croatia, however you pronounce it. That did some shit to my mouth. British, Irish. Okay, he's white by race. Okay, ethnicity, he is a combination. Okay, his daddy is Puerto Rican. He already pointed that out. Everybody was like, "What?" Okay, makes sense. Great. Didn't say nothing about his mama. Um, he started in the Global Force Wrestling. Then he went to Lucha Underground as the White Rabbit. Then he went to Lucha Libre Triple Worldwide from 2017 to 2020. Did a lot of work over there. I saw Cody Rhodes was down there. Psycho Clown is now a part of the WWE. El Hijo del Fantasma, the sexy Santos Escobar. I saw Johnny Mundo. He ramped John Morrison, and his wife Talia Valkyrie was mixing it up. So I recognized a lot of folks. Impact Wrestling 2018, 2019. He was under his Killer Cross name, doing his thing over there. Okay. And then we're just gonna go ahead and he did 1 year at Major League Wrestling. He had one match with Tom Lawler, and then he signed to WWE for 1 year. And in that 1 year, Karrion Cross got a rocket put to his back by then general manager and person running NXT Black and Gold, Paul Levesque. Now remember, this is 1 year. He debuted on February 4th, 2020. You understand? And by August 22nd of 2020, he defeated Keith Lee and had an NXT championship. That was the first time. Unfortunately, he suffered a separate shoulder. And August 26th of 2022, he went on about his day and ended his reign at only 4 days. Okay? December 9th of 2020, he came back and got into a mixing it up with Damian Priest. Takeover Stand and Deliver, April 8th of 2021. He defeated Finn Balor. Okay? Finn Balor is what we know him as now. Defeated Finn Balor and went on to face Johnny Gargano. On the July 14th episode, he defended the NXT Championship, and Samoa Joe ended up beating him there. But he got the championship by successfully beating Finn Balor April 8th. Okay, I hope that made sense. Okay? While he was NXT Championship, Cross made his main roster debut on July 19th. Okay? While he was the champion, this is where everything just went haywire for Karrion Cross. Since then, July 19th, 2021, he made his Raw debut, okay? He was holding the NXT title at the time. This is why you have to be careful with how you are presenting these titles and making it seem like the shit's important. We just saw a dominating Killer Karrion Kross with Scarlet by his side and an explosive entrance doing all the things, looking like a badass with the title. He goes to Raw and he is defeated by a drunk, drugged up, fucked up Jeff Hardy in 90 seconds. Dressed as a gladiator with suspenders. Scarlet Bordeaux wasn't there, and neither was his explosive entrance. I'll give it to Karrion Kross. He tried to do the best with what he could. Everybody was incensed, upset, riled up. Mick Foley said, and I quote, greatly watered down and even made a joke of when they debuted him on the main roster. Booker T agreed. November 4th of 2021, Kross and Scarlett were released from their contract, ending their one-year tender with the company. They went back to MLW in February of 2022. He was over there mixing it up, going by the name Killer Kross, won his return match at the Super Fight. And then on July 31st, at Ric Flair's last match, Kross defeated Davey Boy Smith Jr., and that was his one-year tenure at MLW. He went over to New Japan Pro Wrestling, wanted to mix it up over there, debuted as Killer Kross at the Lone Star Shootout event, losing to Minoru Suzuki. Kross returned during Collision 2022 tapings, defeating Yayu Umara. Okay? Then something in his mind said, we going back to WWE. And 2020, what was going on? Well, he got hired back because it was a whole shakeup. All hell broke loose, and Paul Levesque is now the head of creative. He made his unannounced return to WWE as Karrion Kross on August 5th, 2022 episode of SmackDown. Now sporting longer hair, accompanied by Scarlett, he attacked Drew McIntyre at the end of the show, officially joining the SmackDown brand. On the September 23rd episode of SmackDown, McIntyre challenged Kross to a strap match at Extreme Rules, which he accepted. At the event on October 8th, Kross defeated McIntyre with the Crosshammer after interference by Scarlett. At Crown Jewel on November 5th, Kross lost to McIntyre in a steel cage match when McIntyre escaped, ending their feud. Beginning December of 2022, Kross began a feud with Rey Mysterio. On the January 27th episode of SmackDown, Kross lost to Mysterio after a roll-up. Next, at the Royal Rumble, Kross entered his first Royal Rumble match at number 7 and was eliminated by Drew McIntyre. On the February 24th episode of SmackDown, Kross defeated Mysterio after interference from Dominic, his son. As part of the 2023 WWE Draft, Kross and Scarlett were drafted to SmackDown. Throughout the summer, Kross feuded with AJ Styles, with the two trading victories against each other on various episodes of SmackDown. The feud concluded on August 11th, where Styles emerged victorious. After a 4-month hiatus, this is very important, Kross returned on the December 8th Tribute to the Troops special of SmackDown, and he was taking part in the United States Championship No. 1 Contender Tournament, and he lost the first round to Bobby Lashley. On December 22nd, 2023 episode of SmackDown, Kross and Scarlett appeared in a vignette stating that they had formed a new alliance. On SmackDown New Year's Revolution, Kross, accompanied by Scarlett, attacked Bobby and the Street Profits alongside the Authors of Pain and Paul Ellering, who officially made their return to WWE, confirming their alliance in the process. 1 week later, Kross confirmed the stable's name as the Final Testament. On January 27th at the Royal Rumble, Kross participated in the match. Kross was eliminated by Lashley, which caused Kross to return to the ring to eliminate Lashley in retaliation. At night 2 of WrestleMania 40, the stable lost, or XL, the stable lost the Pride against the Pride. By the way, the Pride never used that name officially. Never was the Pride an official name stable for Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and B-Fab. in a Philadelphia street fight. Following episode, NXT Cross made his return to the brand alongside the Final Testament. So at WrestleMania, the Final Testament lost to quote unquote unofficial The Pride. During night 2 of the draft, which occurred on April 29, 2024, Cross was then sent to Raw with all of the Final Testament. He, along with the rest of the Final Testament, began feuding with the New Day, attempting to drive a wedge between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. And this is where we got this, I don't know, conscience type character, the devil on your shoulder type situation. On the August 19th episode of Raw, the Final Testament lost to the New Day and Odyssey Jones in a 6-man tag team. We all remember what Odyssey Jones was gonna do before what ultimately happened. On February 7th, 2025, the Final Testament disbanded after AOP and Paul Ellering were released from their contract, leaving Cross and Scarlet the only members left. After that, Cross would be involved in backstage segments where he would try and convince various superstars to embrace their dark side, some of whom included Sami Zayn and AJ Styles. After months of backstage segments, Cross had his first match since February on April 14th episode of Raw, where he took on Styles and lost. He would go on to appear in a match against Logan Paul at WrestleMania 41 Styles. Preventing interference from the member of Paul's entourage, Cross would attempt to persuade Styles to hit Paul with brass knuckles. And AJ Styles lost the match. Cross would later appear on WrestleMania 41 recap show with Scarlett, where he would cut a highly acclaimed promo expressing frustration with Styles and WWE as a whole, as well as not having a match on the card. At the end of the promo, he referenced himself as Killer Cross for the first time on WWE programming. And after that, nothing has come of this. He continued to be in Sami Zayn's ear. Sami Zayn punched him, and he got his match at the Night of Champions down to Saudi Arabia, which, if, in my opinion, was a complete setup by Paul Levesque, because Karrion Kross cut that promo. Everybody got turned on who were Karrion Kross fans, and he became the IWC Heavyweight World Champion. Paul Levesque said, y'all not telling me what the fuck to do with this guy. He is about to be 40. There's nothing we can do. Now, here is where I'm going to come in. Right now, the whole macho man mentality in wrestling has always been a thing. Karrion Kross's one-way ticket to stardom was always Scarlet Bordeaux. I always said that Scarlet should have been put in the front. She should have been put in the front to be his handler. Think of Mommy, right? Men like that. They like seeing women dominate them. She could have been showing up, telling him what to do, telling him where to go. Scarlett could have been his unofficial manager. Coming in sexy. Go over there. Attack him. No, baby. Don't you talk. Let me do the talking. Seductress. Giving all, just smoldering. Controlling the WWE. With her jewels and her charms, while she got a big giant 6-foot attack dog right behind her who is hungry for gold. None of that happened. All we get is Scarlett coming in there, falling prey, and that's all we get. That's all we get from Scarlett. And maybe a Halloween Havoc here and there. But none of that was used. None of that was used. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Scarlett has just as much importance to this whole situation as Karrion Kross to put over, and they did nothing with her. And it's really sad. They had something going when the high school stable of YA6 was mixing it up, and YA6 was going after the Final Testament, and, I don't know what happened. Nothing took hold. So whose fault is this at the end of the day? Let's talk Scarlett a little bit. Elizabeth Chahagaya Kinsar. I do not know how to pronounce her last name, okay? But we're going to learn about Scarlet Bordeaux. We're going to learn that she was born in May 13th, 1931. Listen, she a bad bitch. She was born in 19. She was born May 13th, 1991. She's 34 years of age. She is in her prime and it shows. She is from Edgewater, Chicago, Illinois. She got a bachelor's of fine arts from Columbia College. And she is, as we know, married to Karrion Kross. She is 5'8", so she's not no small fry. Okay? All right. Her parents are Romanian. Okay? She lived with her grandpa in Romania until she was 4, and then she came onto the United States and did her thug fizzle. She was on independent circuit from 2012 to 2019 at the CSW Southside Showdown event. She debuted Scarlet Bordeaux. Okay, that's important. Ohio Valley Wrestling in 2012. She did 1 year. She did 1 year at Ohio Valley Wrestling based in Louisville, Kentucky. Okay. She then had one championship against Heidi Lovelace, which AKA is Ruby Soho. Funny how that happens. Isn't that interesting? Ring of Honor for 2013 to 2017. She made her debut at the 11th anniversary show doing her thing down there. Okay. She was a part of the Hoopla Hotties accompanied by Matt Taven. Okay. For the Ring of Honor World Championship against Mark Briscoe. She was there to be a issue and fuck up the match, basically. Impact Wrestling from 2018 to 2019. Bordeaux appeared at the Total Nonstop Actions One Night Only Knockouts Knockdown pay-per-view, facing the women's knockout of Angelina Love, but failed to qualify for the gauntlet to crown the queen of the knockouts later that night. Okay, she also was in Lucha Libre Triple Worldwide for a year. She did some things over there. And she ended up in WWE from 2019 to 2021. As we know, she ended up getting fired or let go with her husband. And she followed him, so she kind of got the same situation as her husband. Her and Karrion Kross got together September 23rd, 2021, and they end up getting married in Alaska in 2022. So listen, she really just supported and followed her husband wherever he needed to go. In my opinion, I think it's unfortunate how this is ending. This second round for Karrion Kross and Scarlett. If they were to let anybody go, I would let Karrion Kross go, but I would keep Scarlett. She is 34 years old. She got a lot more in her. I would have her wrestle more. I would have her do her thug fizzle, or I would keep Karrion Kross and he would be Scarlett's valet and only wrestle when she appoints him or directs him to wrestle. I think that's what should have been happening between these two. But for whatever reason, because he went over with the internet wrestling community, WWE does not see it for them. It is a fascinating thing. The way he was booked in Black and Gold to the way he is booked now, I could not explain why that happened. Even that Adam Cole, when he hit him with that hardcore ass promo, still doesn't explain why this man is handled the way he's handled. I didn't see anything in Karrion Kross. He does nothing for me. He doesn't excite me. I think his character was lacking any kind of development, made no sense. And that's partly because they didn't give him a character to develop. So I'm going to leave it right here. Y'all tell me what y'all think about Karrion Kross. And I'll catch you on the next one.